Welcome to the Style and Soul podcast, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of fashion, jewelry, and retail. Hi, I'm Jenny Livitz, owner of Pink Lagoon, a lifestyle boutique in Solana Beach, California. After being in the heart of retail for over 2 decades, I wanted to create a space where we could go deeper into the stories and personal journeys of the designers, founders, and creative minds shaping what we wear and how we live. From the showroom to the boardroom, this is where creativity and business come together and discover how to build a life with style and soul. So welcome, Erin, to the Style and Soul podcast. I feel like I've been wanting you on this since like a couple years ago. So
I know.
Really glad you're here. And it's just been so much fun watching your brand and life explode in the last couple of years. And
thank you. Lots of changes in my life.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how like when things change, like personally, they also change, not in business and creatively too?
100%.
It's so cool. So for our audience, will you just introduce yourself and just kind of start with your inception story of like how you got started as a jewelry designer? Because you've been doing this a very long time. Even though you're young, you've been doing this a very long time.
I have a fun story. Hi, I am Erin Sachse. I am the designer, owner, founder, blah, blah, blah of Erin Jewelry. I actually started Erin. I was 18 years old. I had just graduated high school. I was working at Kids Fred Siegel. And it was like the summer going into college. I was doing my thing. And I was making jewelry by hand just for fun, just because I didn't see anything I liked out there and I wasn't buying jewelry when I was 18 years old. And I had some wire and some beads and stones and a bunch of things from my crafting days. And I walked into the jewelry store when like I probably was like on my lunch break, and the jewelry buyer stopped me and said, "Make me one of those bracelets. If I get 10 compliments, I'll put you in Fred Siegel tomorrow."
Wait a second. What Fred Siegel did you work at?
Okay.
Santa Monica?
Well, I worked both. I worked mainly at the Melrose location, but it was when they were redoing the 405 and I was living at home in the Palisades. So I was like, I'm not going to go all the way to West Hollywood. So it was just like 1 week of me working at the Santa Monica store, which was like the best store.
Do you know what year that was? Because I don't know if we've even had this conversation. You know that I worked at Fred Siegel Fun with Jackie and Christy for like 2 years when I was probably when I was 20.
It sounds so familiar.
Fred Siegel Fun was where all the Juicy Couture lived and True Religion at the time.
Is it across the street where the cafe, the hair salon and the cafe?
It's not where the cafe was. It's across the street. Well, there was a restaurant. There was an Italian restaurant. And there was,
You were by the shoes.
Yes, right there.
Okay, this was 2011 because I had just graduated high school.
Yeah, I had to have been before that. Yeah, because I'm older than you. So yeah, but it's still funny that your little Fred Siegel story collides with my Fred Siegel story. But go on. Okay, so we're working at the kids store, which for those of you who remember Fred Siegel, it was iconic. It was like living in a different land when you were there. And the fact that you could just walk from like the kids store to the flower shop to the restaurant to go get your nails done across the street to the hair salon.
And every store was amazing.
Every store was amazing. Like from the great, that was such the inspiration of Pink Lagoon too, was just like a merging of all those concepts into one amazing place, because that's what Fred Siegel really created, in my opinion, at the Santa Monica store, was like extra amazing, extra special.
Yeah. I agree. So anywho, the buyer says to me, "Make me a bracelet. If I get 10 compliments tomorrow, I'll put you in my store." I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So that next day I go to her before work in the morning. I give her bracelet, drop it off to her, whatever. I see her at the end of the day and she's like, "Okay, so I got my 10 compliments. I'm going to put you in Fred Siegel. What's the name of your brand?" I was like, "Sorry, what? Excuse me?" And she was like, "Well, what are your wholesale prices?" I was like, "I don't know what wholesale is." Like I did not know a thing. I very quickly learned. And the buyer of that jewelry store was Ashley Bergman. And we've known each other forever now. And she's been such a mentor and she's been so wonderful to me. And I remember she said to me, you're going to have to know all the names of the gemstones. And I was like, how am I going to do that? But I learned, I studied, figured it out. And Fred Siegel was the first store that I was in. So by the time I got to college, I was in Fred Siegel. I was in a bunch of stores just from me walking around, going into a random store to look at shoes. And then I would come home with no jewelry. It was very organic and very natural. And I went to Boston University. I remember my freshman year, I had like a line outside of my dorm room of sorority girls, like trying to buy jewelry. And I had to sign every single person in. So I remember I'd have to like go downstairs, sign them in, come back up. It was just such a funny, fun, amazing way to experience college. I mean, it was hard because I had a website. I was in probably 10 stores at that time and I was making everything on my own by hand. So it was a journey, but I mean, I loved it. And I even remember during like every class, I studied communications, every class I was in, I would have like my school notes on my computer and then I'd have another tab of Erin S notes and everything that I could apply to my brand. I would just move it over to the other page and learn how to promote a brand, to run a business. And I kind of just learned on the go. And then when I graduated in 2015, I kind of decided to relaunch Erin as a fine jewelry line. And it's very different from what it was then, but that's kind of when I really decided like, okay, I am going to make this a business. This is going to be my thing. Like, let's try to make it work.
Incredible. I love these kinds of stories. So when you moved from like, were you working with just some semi-precious gemstones?
It was a mix of, I did work with diamonds, not all the time, but it was a mix of semi-precious, precious, kind of whatever like I was wanting. But I was selling to girls my age.
Right.
And as I evolved and as my style evolved, unfortunately, so did the price point. And my taste changed. And I didn't want, at that point, I wasn't really fine jewelry. I was doing some 14 karat gold pieces, but it was a lot of gold filled. And I wanted jewelry that I could live in and pass down and have forever. And that's kind of when I started growing Erin S in a different direction and finding a production team and really drawing each design and sketching. And it just evolved that way.
So it's really been organic since you were 18 years old. And so how long has the fine jewelry brand been around now?
Since
like Erin S, would you say you're
2015.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
So a long time.
I know. It's crazy.
So tell us just from like a business standpoint, like, because one thing that I'm also really impressed with you is like you're self-funded. You've told me personal stories just in the store about how like, when you sold your first piece, then you reinvested to your next. And I've talked to other younger jewelry designers who have done that. And I think it's a really important thing to talk about for those that are like looking to go into the jewelry business. Cause I think there is that, stigma and fear like, oh my God, this is only for like rich girls or people with super huge funding are able to do this.
I am running this on my own and I don't have funding and I'm sure it would be different if I did. And especially now with gold being through the roof.
Right.
But my motto has always been slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've always grown my business. It was never, let me start this business. I want to be the biggest jewelry designer there is. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted to grow it slowly and grow it so I could manage it the way that I want. So the way that I started, I had my whole gemstone business, let's call it in college. And every time I made a piece of jewelry, I wasn't spending the money. I also had no overhead.
Right.
So I would sell a piece of jewelry and then I would spend that money on more beads and stones and wire and all my materials. And that's really how I grew that business. I wasn't really spending any of that money besides on inventory. And then when I started, and that, by the way, when I really started Erin S, I remember somehow working that summer, I made like $600. I think I was just like always like opting to leave early because I didn't really care. And I remember I went to the gem show that summer and spent all of my $600. And it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And that is really how I started my business, from that $600. And I didn't overproduce. I just kept selling what I had, putting the money back into the business. And then when it came to launch the fine jewelry line, I had a little bit of a bucket there to start working with diamonds and gold. But I was never overproducing. I just produced what was manageable for me and for the accounts that I had and for my customers.
What has been like the most challenging part of running your business like up till now? Do you think you have like any memories that were just like, oh my God?
I mean, every day is
Oh my God.
every day is a challenge. It's hard being the designer and running the business and trying to separate like, okay, I really want to design today, but like I need to work on
sales or marketing,
whatever it is. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'll go back to trying to design. I'm like, oh, I'm not in the design
space
frame of mind. So I think that is always a challenge. Listen, I think starting a business the way that I did, I didn't study business.
Right.
I also didn't study jewelry. I studied public relations. So, I feel like every day I'm messing something up, but every day I'm learning from whatever I did, and I'm not going to do that again. So I feel like it's been so much trial and error, but I'm learning on the go, and I'm okay with that.
I know. Me too, girl. I feel you. And
we're all just figuring it out.
I know. And it is the way I always am like, God, why didn't I know this? And I had known this when I first started. We'd be in such a different this and this. And like, it's like this constant conversation with ourselves. But I think that when you start something like you did and I did from such a state of like passion for what you were doing and just having that entrepreneurial spirit, even if it wasn't something you went to school for, it's like you're just continuing to refine and grow with each passing year. And that's the best we can do. And I, similarly to you, like it is about running a business that fits for your life. Like you wanted a business not to, like you said, be the biggest business in the world or the biggest, it had to work with the life you wanted to create for yourself. And I think that's also something you can have successful businesses that, are successful in more ways than one.
Yeah.
They give you more time, they give you more flexibility. You're a new mom. It gives you time with your baby. You get to make your own schedule. Like there's so many benefits to like designing a business that matches the life you want to live.
Yeah. For sure.
So who is the girl? I love what you said about, you are the girl, I am the girl, but who is the girl that's wearing Erin S jewelry? What is she like?
So I think the Erin S woman is, I'll give her an age. I would say she's between 40 and 65. She's cute. She's chic. She understands designer, but she's not dripping head to toe in designer. She might have a really nice bag, but she's not showy. She's in Levi's, mother denim. She's kind of like the cool mom who is buying jewelry for herself to wear every day and jewelry that just makes her happy. And I think for me, my jewelry, it's not big, scary, fine jewelry. It's fun, happy, playful, casual, fine jewelry that you can buy. Not everything, but it's designed so you can buy it for yourself, so you can feel good in it. And it doesn't only have to be a big special gift. Yes. So I would say that is the Erin S woman.
I think you described it really well. I relate to that. And for the women that I'm thinking of who have bought a lot of your jewelry, that is pretty much their vibe. It's very, very wearable, very everyday. I like that it's so layerable too. And
yeah, for sure.
And I will say there's something really great about like you take something that may be considered like simple staple and you just take it up a notch with like the way it's put together, like architecturally. If you could speak a little bit to that, because like I'm wearing my earrings today and these were the ones that like sometimes I can't wear a big hoop because they're heavy on my ears, but for some reason, and I have like a tear in one of my ears. So like, but for whatever reason, the way you created it, and you did this with one of your bangles, where it's just like, it's very secure. It's so like, there's a little extra like thought into some of these traditional pieces.
Yeah. And I also, for me, like I wear the whole collection. I don't want to, and anything that if I don't like it, which I don't really design anything I don't like, but if I don't like it, I know I'm not going to sell it. I don't want to design a hoop that's going to pull your ear down and give you a headache. I don't want that. I don't want to design a bracelet that's going to fall off and you're going to lose it.
Right.
So even my bangles, like I have an extra secure clasp on the bangles, on those huggies, like everything is secure and also lightweight. So it's something that you can wear every day. And it's not, oh, let me put this earring on for this event. And by the end of the day, like my ears are going to hurt. It's sleep in these earrings, live in the earrings, work out in the earrings. It's jewelry to wear every day, and it's meant to be comfortable. I think if it's not comfortable, it's sitting in your jewelry box. And I don't want to make jewelry that is sitting in someone's jewelry box. I want to make jewelry that is literally giving someone a ring tan line that they never take off.
I love that. I love that. So, jewelry is so personal and it does evoke so much emotion. And, what is the feeling that you want people to feel like when they're wearing your jewelry?
I would say the short answer would be happy.
Yes.
We are making jewelry here. I just want people to put on a necklace and feel happy and feel beautiful. I think the longer answer is I feel like a lot of my designs have a bigger meaning than just a necklace. For instance, the Ladybug collection, like that's a really personal collection for me. And I think which I can get into, but when I wear my Ladybug necklace, it's not just a necklace. It's like, this is like a connection to my mom.
Right.
And I think a lot of my pieces for a lot of women that I talk to it acts as a connector to something, to a family member, to a daughter. We have matching butterflies. And I think it just feels a little more special.
Yeah, you give me goosebumps when you said that because I think that is the perfect answer. Like the short answer is happy, but the long answer for so many of us is when we purchase jewelry, there is this deeper connection. So tell us more about the Ladybug collection. And then I would love to hear more about the one of a kind because I have been personally just in love with watching your brand explode and just explore this new dimension for your jewelry. Cause I love a one of a kind in general.
So bye.
Yeah, I just love it for just the exact thing that it's like no one else can have it. It's for you. Mm-hmm. And finding them the perfect home is so much fun. So tell us about the Ladybug.
So my mom passed away 6 years ago.
How old were you when that happened?
I was, however old I was in 2019. I think it's like 27.
This was right before COVID.
This was before COVID, yeah.
Okay, wow.
And while my mom was still in hospice, I had a dream that my entire room was filled with ladybugs all over the walls. Like literally the walls were red.
Wow.
And in the dream, I didn't feel afraid. I felt very comforted. Mm. And I woke up next to my now husband and I was like, oh my God, I just had the most vivid dream. The whole room was filled with ladybugs. And as I'm telling him about the dream, I'm thinking, wait, this is so weird. A ladybug flew into our house the other day. And then I was on a walk with my grandma and a ladybug was in her hair. And like all these weird ladybug things I realized like had happened recently. And there were more, like so many weird ladybug things. So at that point I was barely working and I was basically spending most of my time with my mom. And I went home that morning and I was sitting with her in bed and I got a news alert saying that the night before there was an 80-mile by 80-mile swarm of ladybugs that flew over Los Angeles. So as
no way.
Yes. As I should have like taken a screenshot, but obviously I didn't like realize.
No, this is a great story.
As I was having a dream that there were ladybugs around me, there were actual ladybugs flying above me.
Wow.
So that night, and I remember like tried to explain it to my mom. And
looking to refresh your wardrobe with pieces that feel as good as they look? Come visit us at Pink Lagoon, a lifestyle boutique in Solana Beach, California, where fashion meets intention. From curated clothing and jewelry to elevated essentials, we help you find your unique style with soul. Not local? No problem. Shop anytime at pinklagoon.com. That's www.pinklagoon.com. Come and discover your new favorite look today.
But that night I went home, I opened up my notebook and it was as if I did not design this. It like felt like someone took over my hand and just, like, drew these designs. And I had my production manager literally come to Shiva and I showed him the designs and I'm like, we need to make these. I don't know if anyone is going to buy them. It's a ladybug. I don't know, but I want to make them for all my mom's friends. So I made them. I ended up putting them online. Oh, let me back up. So then I became like obsessed with ladybugs, obviously.
Yeah.
And after my mom passed away, anytime I needed a ladybug and I asked for one, I would get them. I got a ladybug on the freeway. I got a ladybug in a snowstorm in Chicago. Like, she just knew when I needed her, that is how she would come
Would
to
show
me.
up for you. Yeah.
And I remember it was her first birthday that she wasn't here, and it would have been her 60th birthday. And my plan was to go to the cemetery, drink champagne, and go have high tea. And I was reading a book at the time by Laura Lynn Jackson, which you should read if you haven't, called Signs. And in the book, it says if you need a sign, you have to ask for it. You have to ask for what you want, and you have to create this language. So that day, I was in the shower and I said, "Send me a ladybug. If I don't get one," like, these have all just been big coincidences. I get in the car with my friend. I tell her, "I'm just letting you know, I just asked the universe for a ladybug." And she's like, "Oh my God, you've lost it. At this point, you've lost it." So we're at the cemetery. It's beautiful. There's bees everywhere. There's flowers. We're in the grass. It's a sunny day. And I'm like, "Hello, where's my ladybug? I asked for a ladybug. Like, I'm outdoors waiting for you." And she didn't come. And we got in the car. We were driving to the peninsula to have high tea. And my friend looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, stop the car." I stopped the car on Santa Monica Boulevard, and there is a ladybug in her hair. And it just was like chilling to me. But so I know it's like, she is my ladybug. And when I need her, she's there. And I mean, to this day, I like wear my ladybug every single day. I'm always looking in it. And it was really special for me when I launched this collection, not knowing if anybody would have a care in the world about ladybugs. I
Right.
got so many emails and texts and DMs from people I didn't even know telling me their ladybug stories and how special it is for them. And, "Oh, I'm going to buy these for all my 4 daughters and my grandkids." And it just kind of created this community that I was not expecting at all. And it was so beautiful to see that other people have had different experiences, but something similar to me. And that, like, there are people out there wearing my piece of jewelry that is so special and sentimental to them. And that to me is like why I do this.
I love it. I love it so much. I feel like, and your ladybug is so pretty, and your butterflies. I know a lot of my clients have that relationship with butterflies. So your butterflies are really extra special. And I think that is the extra special piece around some of the jewelry, is that it does feel like a part of you and connects you with family, and something you can give away, down the line to your family. It's so special. And it's great. Like, so that is part of the inspiration for your designs now, is like to create those sentimental pieces.
Yeah, always. And even with the butterfly, I have a customer, this like literally made me cry. I have a customer who has a butterfly. She bought a butterfly for her daughter, and it was Mother's Day, and she texted me, can you send out this butterfly last minute? Like, I'm late on Mother's Day." And I was, "Yes, of course. Do you want to write a note?" She texted me the note, and it was a note to her mother, basically saying like, "Now, like, we have 3 generations in butterflies." And I just was like, how amazing is it that like I can do that?
Oh,
And
it's so amazing.
like
It's
all
so
these women in this one family are all wearing the same necklace to like feel connected to each other.
Yes, it is magical. It truly is. So talk to us about the one of one. Is that what it was called?
One of one. Yeah. Okay. So the one of one collection is so different than anything I've ever done.
It really was.
Yeah. Very different. I actually sourced all of the big, so basically, let me back up. It is 10 designs, one of a kind. Once it's gone, it's gone. It cannot be reproduced in the exact same way, which actually has been really emotional for me to sell these pieces, because in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I want it." And when I'm producing my other jewelry, like, I have a ladybug for myself and I can sell another one to someone else. But now I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't get one." I like, I have to get rid of it.
That's gone. That's no longer mine
Forever. But it's been like so wonderful and
yes,
so different and so fun. So I actually sourced these stones maybe well over a year ago. And this is the first time that I went into a collection without like a theme. I let I really let the stones create the collection where for me, it's always the opposite. Like I'm going to do a butterfly collection and then I draw the butterfly and then I pick the stones that go in it. So this was totally different. So I sourced these stones well over a year ago and it was really just on a feeling like, oh my God, I love this. I haven't worked with a stone like this before. And I tried to find different stones and pieces that just like really spoke to me. And they sat in my safe for like a year. And I just was, anytime I thought about it, I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not like, I don't want to do it yet. And it kind of just was sitting there. And then I got pregnant and somehow I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. And I actually think I designed that collection pretty quickly. Once it started, I was like, ooh, okay, I know what to do here. And it really just, I think it was a mix of my hormones.
Yeah, I was going to say new stuff happening inside of you.
This new chapter of my life and becoming a mom, which I was so excited about, but also becoming a mom without my mom, which was really challenging, and my home burning down. It's so many things were happening in my life. And weirdly, I think that is like when I'm the most creative, when I take all of my emotions and everything that I'm feeling and put it down on paper.
Right.
It kind of all just came to me, but it was a really fun and challenging, but such a fulfilling collection to do. And I'm already like, ooh, okay, I need to go get more stones. I need to expand. I need to do more. Like I'm so excited to have this. Not that it's so different from Erin S. It's a departure from what I always do, but it still to me feels so true to the DNA of
it. Really does. It's a very soulful collection, I will say. And what is that? Is it like the phoenix rising or something, or like some of like what beauty comes out of the ashes, or there's that's kind of what this collection is. It's like through all of these dark, well, not dark. It's wonderful to be pregnant. It's wonderful to give birth, but you are like saying goodbye to one life and entering a new life with, and not having your mom with you. That's really hard to go through when you're becoming a mom, because at all the different stages of raising your kids, you're like remembering things. So that's, I think, what's, beautiful and brutal. That's what we always call it, like beautiful and brutal all at the same time. And then, the house, your family house burning down, it's like all, so much was going on. And then you were able to create this beauty out of all of that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That you have. And everyone who gets these pieces has like a special connection to
and to know, like you're the only one with this ring. You're the only one with this earring. Like,
right.
It's such a special feeling.
Yeah, it's really great. So what are your, like, where do you kind of see Erin S, like the next, say, like 5 to 10 years? I love what you're doing marketing wise. Like it just feels like it's picking up or something. Maybe you can speak more to that, but like, what do you sort of envision for the next chapters?
I honestly just want to keep growing. I want to continue to be true to myself and my designs, but also still evolve. I think this one-of-one collection, I've really evolved as a designer, and I'm excited to do more of that and to kind of see where that goes and kind of have this whole one-of-a-kind, one-of-one like sector of my business. And I feel like I can be creative in a different way.
Right.
But I just want to keep growing and keep selling. And I just love like meeting my customers and seeing them in my jewelry. It just is so fun for me. I just want to make more people happy, basically.
Yes. Well, you're making us very happy.
Yay.
What, as a mom, as a entrepreneur, jewelry designer, how do you go about structuring? You did mention like it's hard to wear all these hats in your business. Now you're wearing more hats. Like, how do you sort of organize your week? And also, like, what are things that are sort of non-negotiable for you to take care of yourself during all this?
Well, I will say I definitely have not figured it out yet. It is really hard.
Yeah.
My non-negotiable right now, my husband and I do a lot together when it comes to our son. Like we do bath time together. We do bedtime together. We do mornings together. And for me, like that is like, I'm not going to not do that. Like, yeah, maybe one night I have a dinner plan and I can't do bedtime. I haven't done that yet, but I think I should.
Probably.
For us, it's like we like the time, the three of us. We love doing bath time together. We love like doing bedtime and sitting together. And I think those are the things that are non-negotiables for me. The rest, I am figuring it out. It is very hard being a mom, running a business, kind of feeling like I want to give 100% of my energy to both.
I know.
And I obviously can't do that. So that I think is probably the challenging for all parents who work and have a child. It's hard, but I can't.
Because our businesses are our babies too. So they take up a lot and a whole nother, it is challenging and there is no magic solution to it. It is just finding like your own.
But I definitely try, like when I'm working, I'm working. And when I'm home, I am not working.
Yes, that's a good way to start.
I really try to shut off when I'm home. And if I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this, let me put it on the list for tomorrow.
Yes.
And let me be present here with my son, because I got home at 4:30. I only have a few hours until he goes to bed.
Right. Exactly.
So I try to be as present as I can wherever I am.
I love that. If you could leave women with one message about wearing your jewelry, fine jewelry, what would it be?
Oh, stump me. I think in terms of my jewelry, I think first of all, fine jewelry is always the way to go, because you can live in it. You can pass it down. You can have it forever. Like I have some of like my grandma's jewelry that makes me so happy. I would say just find a piece that feels special to you and live in it and wear it. And I don't think jewelry is meant to sit in a jewelry box. I think it is meant to be worn and showered in and slept in, and wear it every single day and find a piece that feels special to you and personal.
I love that. So Erin, where can people find you? Obviously they can come to Pink Lagoon. We have her jewelry there, but where else can people find you?
You can find us on our website, erins.com. And our Instagram, which is just Erin S Jewelry, and obviously Pink Lagoon. And our website also shows our stockists with our other stores that are all over. But I mean, go to Pink Lagoon. Come on.
Thank you, love. You're the best. And thank you for coming on the Style and Soul podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Thanks for joining me on the Style and Soul podcast. I hope today's conversation left you inspired to look deeper, not just at the brands you love, but the stories and the people behind them. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. This podcast is produced by Oleg Livitz and edited by David Strutt. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep building your life with style and soul.